But we're gonna take all the elements of a classic deli sandwich and we're gonna put it into a frittata. So you're eliminating the bread. You don't have to feel guilty about eating a couple of slices of this sucker. So we're gonna start with a skillet that you can put into the oven at 400 degrees. And I started in the pan kind of making hash browns. I diced up 2 small potatoes or 1 large russet, peel it and dice it real small, and then I cook it in olive oil or butter, whichever you prefer, with a little bit of garlic, because I put garlic in everything, and a little bit of onion, okay? So you're making hash browns, basically. To that, we're then going to add a combination of corned beef and pastrami. So the meats are rendering out a little bit of their fat into the potatoes. And then I take 1 package, 1 pound package of sauerkraut, and I give it a rinse. To this, I'm gonna add a little bit of caraway and a little bit of cumin. It adds a ton of great flavor to our cabbage. Put that in. Then we're gonna cover this with eggs, of course, so that it all sets together. So for the eggs, for a 12-inch pan, you use 12 eggs. For a 10-inch pan, 10 eggs. For an 8-inch pan, 8 eggs, and so on and so forth. Just adjust for the inches of the pan, and you can make different size frittatas. So for this, we're going to add a few spoonfuls of relish into the eggs and a few fat spoonfuls of good deli mustard into our eggs. And we're going to add half of our cheese. I bought an 8-ounce brick of Swiss, and I've just shredded it up. You're gonna put half of that. Let's whip the eggs first, and we'll mix that in. We're gonna poke the yolks so the eggs whisk up a little quicker for us. And we're gonna add half the cheese in, pour the eggs over the top of everybody in the pan, right, with half of the cheese. And then 5 minutes before this is done, when it's set on top but not totally brown yet, add the rest of the cheese and then let that cheese brown. Salt and pepper. Boop. Over the shoulder. Now that we've got the eggs whipped, we'll throw in half of our cheese. I love this. It's so delicious. And then I'm gonna just pour these guys over the top and pop it into the oven. We're gonna make our Russian dressing when we come right back. So this frittata is set. I'm topping it with the other half of our cheese. And we just pop it back in the oven for a couple minutes to melt that cheese and brown the top. And we're gonna make up our Russian dressing. Now, instead of mayonnaise, I prefer sour cream as the base of my Russian dressing. It just has more tang and it has better viscosity. It's got a better texture to it. And then you know the drill here. You just add ketchup and relish. I also like a little Worcestershire in mine. Mix this guy up. And a little salt and pepper, of course. A little salt and pepper. So when you slide out your Reuben frittata, I garnish it with a little bit of paprika or smoked sweet paprika, also known as pimenton. This is our Reuben frittata. This one has pastrami and corned beef. You can also make it with turkey pastrami or just roast turkey if you wanted to make, instead of a Reuben, a Rachael frittata. So this is all the elements of that classic sandwich. We have the sauerkraut in there, spiced and spiked with a little bit of caraway seed and cumin seed, potatoes, onions, garlic, so much flavor already in this. And we're gonna serve it with a beautiful topping of fresh herbs, dill, chive, and parsley. And then what I do is I take Bib lettuce, right? Put a bowl of it out on your breakfast or brunch buffet. You can cut these into big squares or wedges, whichever you prefer. And I put that Russian dressing that we made in a squeeze bottle, and you're basically having a Reuben frittata and a salad. Yeah, yum.